Well, I think Suranne came to read because HBO, I mean, normally you wouldn't ask Suranne to read. You'd just...
I do get asked to read.
just offer her a part. But because HBO were involved, they specified that we had to ask people to read. And it was just the way Suranne came in and read was just extraordinary, because I've never been able to see Anne Lister in my mind's eye. There are 3 portraits of Anne Lister, and then they don't all agree with each other, these portraits, and it's very difficult to... I've never had a 3-dimensional image of Anne Lister, and I couldn't see her. I've never been able to see her. And then Suranne came in and just knocked it out of the park. It was just this extraordinary... It's the mental and physical energy that I think you have hugely in common with Anne Lister. Anne Lister she had more mental and physical energy than she knew what to do with, and I think when you came in, you got that straight away. And
nervous. I was nervous.
But had you heard of Anne Lister before this?
So I've known Sally for about 10 years, I think, and so I in my head, I think that I'd seen a script. Would you have ever sent me a script years ago, or maybe you just talked about it?
We just talked ad nauseum.
Yeah,
about Anne Lister. I don't think there was.
There was not like an early script or something, but
well, there was, but I can't remember.
Maybe we just chatted a lot.
Sending it to anyone, really, but
so I heard a little bit. My first agent was in Halifax at Dean Clough Mill, so I knew of Shibden a little bit, but then, I mean. So 10 years, not heard, forgot, whatever. And then my agent said, you've got to look at these scripts. And then they want you to go in and read. And because obviously I've done Sally's shows with her writing, but never directing. So I was like, right, okay, so I learnt some scenes. But I remember that day I'd been to Buckingham Palace like you do. But the point being is I never wear skirts or like heels, or, I'm not really a girly girl. But that particular day, just as you're auditioning for someone who's not really a girly girl, I walked in with heels and a skirt and quite a pretty blouse thing on. And was like, oh shit, okay, this is not a good look. Could I have got ready? And then I remember you coming in. Do you not remember? I
remember you said I'm going to take my shoes off.
Yeah, because they were killing me by that point. And then you were saying, oh, I'm sorry, you're reading. But I thought it was a good thing to do for such a big part anyway, and also for us kind of getting our chemistry. We hadn't seen each other for a while. But as soon as Sally started talking about Anne Lister and the scenes, I was like, oh, okay. But you did say, I don't know who I'm going to get to play this part, because and then you listed off a million things about her that this actress would need to be to play her. And then you went, anyway, do you fancy having a read? And I was just like, oh God, okay. But I think the important thing about this and the development of our relationship and my relationship to Anne, because then obviously my research began, which was a huge thing. But I think you'll probably agree that when you chose me, you were thinking I was a work in progress, because sometimes you get the part because you just are the finished product and you can then kind of like start to spin your plates and work on the dialogue. But I think whoever you would have got needed to then go, right, well, we'll start here. She's got the potential to, and then we worked on me to get me to where I was, because I don't think you could have ever have given the part to someone who was.
But I think what was interesting
fully cooked
day was, for me, it was, as I say, I'd never been able to picture in my mind's eye, and then suddenly I could see that you could do it, and I think I'd written about 4 episodes by then, and for me it really helps when I was playing the part. It helps to visualise someone, and even if I don't know that person, if it doesn't end up being that person, it helps. So when you did that audition that day, the writing just took off. It was brilliant and fantastic. But yeah, we did rehearse quite a lot, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had, because you don't get enough time to rehearse in telly ever, and I'd asked for longer, so we used to meet each other for a couple of hours, once a fortnight, over quite a long period of time, and just talking about her and developing her mannerisms, and
because there's quite a physical transformation. Even her walk is very fast and it's very kind of strident.
Yeah, I've only just lost that. like my husband's here somewhere, but yeah, you kind of stick with things. So yeah, she walks very fast, and Sally would always say, "Walk quicker." I'm like, the camera can't even see me. I'm walking that quick. Yeah, I know, but we need the energy, which became for you something that really moved the show along, because she just. So I was shattered by the end of 8 months, but it just added to the way that it drove the story along in the end, and the mannerisms and the mms.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the voice as well as the walk, and the manners. It was really fun. Just some brilliant ideas, like that idea that she just gets a bit too close to people.
Yeah.
And she's always checking people out. She's like, by the end of a conversation with Anne Lister, you talk to her for 10 minutes and she knows what you had for breakfast and what your dog's called. And that without telling, a bit Sherlock Holmesy, that she'd pick up lots of odd bits of information just by sort of looking someone up and down and getting a bit too close to them.
And the more we spent time together, the more we were falling in love with Anne Lister as a person. And then you just want to get on set, and then you want to do more, and then you want to do more, and eventually you've got to say, right, let's leave all that and let's just do the scene. But I think that, and we sat together a lot and said, aren't we lucky to be doing this, because we were filming in Anne Lister's actual house, which blows your mind. But I remember that we were both, throughout the whole 8 months, it was hard work, it was exhausting, but we always felt very, very grateful and had that like bond of like, this is good, this is, we're really humbled by the experience, I think, which helped keep it.
There wasn't a day that passed when I didn't think, God, I am so lucky. I am the luckiest person on the planet.
Well, speaking
and being in her house. I mean, you used to say that, just being in the house a couple of times, you're going, this is like weird.
Yeah, weird.
And it just struck you occasionally how wonderful it was that we were there doing this thing.
Should we see inside the house?
Yeah.
Shall we watch the second clip?
Can I go and stand over there?
Yeah, you go and take your...
Otherwise I'm worried I'm in the way. That speech was about a page and a half long.
I was going to ask Suranne how you felt when you got that through.
Oh shit. So at the read-through, that sounded like, it just sounded like an idiot was saying it at the read-through, because I couldn't even I was like, what? I couldn't make sense of it. And then...
What's a corv?
Yeah, exactly. What's a corv? What's a shilling? How much is what?
What is a corv for the uninitiated?
It's a little... it's a tub about that big, that long by about that wide, on wheels that they put coal in and trundle it out of the mine on.
Yes. So I think with anything like that, you have to take the information, and then you have to learn the information. Just kind of make sure that you absolutely know that. So then you can have fun with it, and then you can start spinning plates and put the character back into it. So I think with that one, I wrote it out, and then I had it pinned on walls, just kept looking at it. So then by the day, I could, and everyone was so nice, because we had to shoot that quite a lot of times, didn't we? Just because you had to get everyone's reaction for it, and then the wides and whatever. And I think with period, you tend to shoot more than you would contemporary. So yeah, by the end of the day, everyone hugged me on set, and it nearly took a day, didn't it, to shoot, I think. Probably.
It was a big old scene to shoot, yeah.
Is it still in there now, do you think?
No way, I'm watching it going, good. Glad that's in, I think it's like, glad that's in the bag. But as we went, never again. No, in fact, Sean Dooley, who I've worked with about 5 times, said, "Hey mate, it's me again." He said, "I bet you like seeing me because we're mates, but I bet you think, oh shit, it's the coal stuff." Every time he came on set, I speak to him like that, and I just literally wipe the floor with him, and it's all coal stuff, isn't it? Yeah. Except maybe one scene which is slightly less, but it's usually I just run rings around him. So yeah, and he's great. He's just lovely to be around. So the support of other actors. I had a lot of mates coming onto this show, so it was great.
Sally, the coal stuff, how did you know there was such entertainment value to be had in the coal industry in Halifax in 1832?